Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We are answering all the latest on there in terms of what's going on, all the latest buzz, news, rumors, etc. on the Dallas Cowboys. So let's begin with the one that something tells me will continue to be a story until he ends up getting signed. That is the Ezekiel Elliott. Could the Cowboys bring him back? I'm going to give this one 1 star, and it comes despite some comments made by Emmitt Smith on Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboys' former Hall of Fame running back and the Cowboys' former running back as well. Emmitt wants the Cowboys to bring back Zeke, and it's also worth noting that Emmitt never really wanted to cut Zeke in the first place. And Emmitt Smith's a running back. He's always liked Zeke. He's always been very consistent on his desire to keep Zeke on the Cowboys. So I'm not surprised this is the comment by Emmitt, and it is consistent at least. Now, if Clarence Hill reports that Elliott has options with other teams, and we will see if that's true or not. You know, the NFL draft ended 2 weeks ago, and still pretty quiet on that front there with Elliott, who might wait a little bit longer to sign, at least at minimum through rookie minicamps, maybe in the first phase of OTAs. We'll see there. Here's exactly what Emmitt had to say on Zeke. I think Dallas needs to bring Zeke back if they can. With the uncertainty of Pollard being able to come back, being the Tony Pollard that we all know, that is yet to be seen. Until it's proven itself out and he's healthy enough to get out there and carry the football in some form of who he used to be, that is my biggest concern. So I do understand the general concerns over depth, the running back room, etc. I am not that worried about Tony Pollard's injury. Now, I continue to see this be reported as a broken leg that needed surgery. It's not really. The broken leg actually healed on its own. That was just a fracture. The ankle injury had the tightrope ankle procedure, which we've seen players come back from that in less than 2 months. So I am not that worried about the Tony Pollard injury as it relates to his role. Now, the backup running back room, is still a little uncertain. I'm a big fan of Deuce Vaughn, but he was also a 6th-round pick, and level of investment is, although not a guarantee, is a fantastic indicator of how good a player will be. That is the single best correlation, not causation, when it comes to draft pick success, where they were drafted. Deuce Vaughn was a late day 3 pick. There's also Ronald Jones, Malik Davis, Rico Dowdle, Hunter Lipke, who's kind of that fullback, H-back, running back, even some tight end hybrid in there. So I do understand the general concerns over the running back room. But that doesn't mean maybe you want to bring back Ezekiel Elliott. So this will be the pinned comment on today's show. Do you want Zeke back? And yes, it assumes on a very, very cheap contract, because I'd be a bit surprised if we got more than a couple million on the open market. It is the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Y for yes, N for no. I do want to see what others can do, at least first. And that could be let's see how rookie minicamp goes, see how OTAs look, see how the first couple weeks of training camp look. The Cowboys have loved doing that in the past, but I do want to wait and see what things look like on the roster at this point. We know what Ezekiel Elliott is. He's great in short yardage, and that role is available, but that particular role is the most replaceable role in the NFL at running back. The short yardage back is basically fallen out of favor because you can do quarterback sneaks. You can get a yard or two with most running backs. So you can keep the door open if you want, but it does a little bit feel like it's the old, you got back together with your ex-girlfriend when, hey, you know what, everyone knew you had to break up. Did the 5 months apart really change anything for either of you? You can revisit in camp if you want to, but I want to see what Ronald Jones, Malik Davis, Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, even Hunter Lipke can do. I want to, yeah, good call, Jeremy. Play the field a little bit. Experience some new things before just going back to the X all over again. Now, if you want a Mozzie Smith jersey, we have you guys covered. Chatsports.com/Mozzie. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Check it out. If you want the first round picks jersey for the Cowboys, get yours today at chatsports.com/Mozzie. Let's stick on the defensive line then and go to Quinnen Williams. How about a trade? 1 star. Oh, how I wish it were more than 1 star. You can wind back the clock to 2020. We were talking about getting Quinnen Williams on this Cowboys team. But the report out of ESPN is that the Jets and Williams are reportedly not close to a deal. Now, look, Williams is due a massive contract, and he's worth every single penny. There are not many better defensive linemen, especially young defensive linemen, who are out there. He is an awesome special football player, and the last time Quinnen was linked in trade rumors was around the trade deadline, mostly because other teams, I think, were trying to incite some chaos and get him off the Jets and see if you could leak that interest and demand a trade, something along those lines. Quinnen Williams was an all-pro caliber defensive lineman last year. The flashes we saw were more consistent. 12 sacks is a Chris Jones-esque number out of a defensive lineman. He is an awesome football player. I would love to get on this team. And I know you invested in Emmitt Smith. We'll talk about how that impact could play in here a little bit, but he's a 3 technique. This is your Osa Odighizuwa upgrade button. And that's not even a fight against Osa. That's how good I think Quinnen Williams is. The real problem here is the money. You know, Dexter Lawrence, Daron Payne, Jeffrey Simmons, all getting $22.5 or $23.5 million per year. If I'm Quinnen Williams' agent, I'm asking for 24 flat. I think he's just as good, if not better, than Jeffrey Simmons, and the next guy typically ends up getting paid a little bit more. And Simmons and Williams are 3 techniques. The pass rushers, Payne and Lawrence, are better run stoppers. So you got to pay the guy $24 million a year when you've got the Micah Parsons deal, et cetera, coming down the pipeline. And you got to move at least a first for Quinnen Williams. You are not getting him cheap. For a Jets team that gave up the farm for Aaron Rodgers to go try to win right now, they're not giving away Quinnen. So I love the idea. I will be shocked if he gets moved, because even if the contract is iffy and he holds out of OTAs, voluntary stuff, etc., well, they still have team control for a few years. So maybe there's a more realistic name out there that you have in mind. Sound off in the comments section and name a player you guys want to trade for. We will be doing some trade targets down the line here on the Cowboys Report, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out. Free YouTube videos every single day here on the Cowboys Report. It's youtube.com/@CowboysTV. More free agency conversations here about signing Deion Jones, the former Falcons linebacker. I'll give it 2 stars because he's still unsigned, and I think that gives it, decent options. There's, of course, the Dan Quinn link. Bleacher Report was like, linebacker depth, maybe a starter, Deion Jones, etc. Dan Quinn, I get all of that. Jones has been available for a little while, and Dallas hasn't really shown that much interest. It might be more like a 1.5 star, and I rounded down from that perspective. Jones's career, I do think, is on the decline, and I do wonder how much of a need this Cowboys team views linebacker right now. They've invested a decent amount, and Deion Jones' raw numbers still look pretty decent from his time with the Falcons and, of course, last year with the Browns, although they really did drop off. I don't think he's been as good in coverage. There's been a bit of an uptick in the missed tackles. All that just says decline. And Dallas does have good players at linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown, 3rd-round pick. Maybe you're not out on recent later-round picks. Devin Harper, Jabril Cox. I want to see what Damone Clark can do with an offseason not dedicated to rehab, but to getting better as a football player. That's all really intriguing to me from that perspective. Now, the issue is, if Vander Esch goes down, I think we're all worried about the linebacker room. So that's why I do think Jones could be an option, whether it's now or maybe he waits a little bit longer and you see how training camp goes. So name a player who you guys want to sign in free agency. There are roster spots open right now for the Cowboys, so sound off in the comment section. Let's talk Cowboys-Eagles stuff here. DeAndre Swift, did you see what he said? He said he took 0 because the Cowboys no championship games. No, he didn't. Fake news. Quite literally fake news in this case. Y'all got to be careful on the Twitter bot these days, because y'all let Boo Ridley get you. This is what he tweeted out. DeAndre Swift White was the number 0. Number of time the Cowboys won the NFC Championship game in my lifetime. Sports Illustrated fall for it. I saw so many articles, social media buzz of, look, they got. Micah Parsons got. He says, pull up on the block, Swift. And Micah later deleted it because he realized, oh, this is fake. This isn't actually a real tweet there. Never was said by DeAndre Swift. Was not a real tweet. Credit to them for forgetting people, but that is not what happened. Now, we will stick in Philly here, where Micah Parsons was, rocking a Tyrese Maxey jersey for the 76ers. I am somehow surprised yet not surprised over the reaction from both Eagles fans and Cowboys fans thinking this means Micah wants to be an Eagle. No, it doesn't. It's just not true. And if Micah Parsons wearing a Sixers jersey, a completely different sport, mind you, if that bothers you, as I saw it was for many on social media, you are soft. This is what happens when you are America's team. Micah grew up in Philly. He's been a Cowboys fan his entire life. This is not him trying to go to the Eagles. Stop it, Jeremy. No, it's not what this means. Everyone relax. But this should not bother you, and it does not relate to the Eagles. That's not how sports work. Like, imagine the normal person moves to Dallas from Philadelphia, right? And they then become a Cowboys fan. The claim is, well, you're not a real Cowboys fan, or you're not a real Mavs fan. So because he's sticking with his basketball team from where he's from, and his NFL team, the Cowboys, when he grew up, he's staying true to the fandom side. So get over it. And with that in mind, Jeremy, stop falling for the bait. Type in F Chugs in the comments section as a sign to Jeremy and a sign to all those rent-free Eagles fans who somehow think this means, and even some of the Cowboys fans falling for it too, who think this means Micah's going to be an Eagle somehow. It's not. There's no correlation. Spam F Chugs in the comments section.